Hey, what is up, my people? As we know, we are market structure traders. There's nothing more important than market structure. It's the whole basis of everything. If you're going to be right or wrong, it's purely dependent on if you're on the right side of structure. So what's better than to go through some structure together? So I know we've done a little bit of this before, to be fair, but let's just recap and hopefully this can help some people with any queries. So first I want to see is obvious uptrend. Okay, now when I'm trading on the time frame such as now the 1 minute time frame, you have to be in accordance with the higher time frame structure. Otherwise, you're going to get a lot of fake outs. Like for example, a lot of people see this as a change of character. They think high, low, higher high, lower low, look for shorts. They get stopped out once, and then as you can see, they get stopped out twice. So you can't be so zoomed in on this lower time frame structure because you're going to be completely lost. You have to use the higher time frame to guide your lower time frame. And what I mean is that my higher time frame and my lower time frame structure is going to be the same. So here I can see we have a high and we close above this high, giving us a low down here. Now, how do I know this is the right high to use? How do I know this is the break or structure to use? Because on the time frame like the 15, which I like using my higher time frame, I can see we broke structure on the higher time frame. My 1 minute breaks structure need to match with my 15-minute breaks structure. You can see that on my 15-minute break structure, we had no breaks structure going here. Okay, this was my first break structure, so I had no 1 minute zones. But if I go on the 1 minute, there's probably plenty zones, right? There's probably plenty break structure. You might think this is a break structure, 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 this is a break structure. To me, these are all irrelevant because they need to match in order for me to be on the right side of structure. So when I'm drawing structure, I'm drawing it as high, low, higher, high. Because, right, this was my last higher time frame BOS. All these mini zones here, no relevancy. Like I said, you have to be trading with the higher time frame structure. Otherwise, you are going to be completely lost on your lower time frame. And that doesn't matter which time frames you're using. So you can see here would have been a fake change of character. That would have got you out. You can see here was another fake change of character. That would have got you out. You might start thinking shorts after we took this low. It would have faked you out. If we were sticking to the higher time frame though, you're purely bullish and you're purely using that structure. So this lower time frame matches with my higher time frame. And the simple trick is just don't be so zoomed in. So now what are we expecting? Well, if we start marking out structure with our highlighter tool, we can see high, low. We're going to put in a new high. Okay, so let's zoom it in. So we are just expecting price to come back into this area, right? And then push higher. So we have come back into this area. Now, will we mark this as a breaker structure? Well, first of all, let's see this previous zone we had. Boom. It's still unmitigated, so I'm not convinced to mark this as my new breaker structure. And again, how do we know if this is irrelevant? You want to use swing sizes as well. Look at the size of this zone compared to the size of this zone, right? Which one would you trust more? You're obviously going to trust this bigger swing point more. If anything, this smaller swing point provides liquidity for your big swing point, stop people out who are using this and then continue higher. Again, you can't get lost on the lower time frame. If we go to the 15-minute time frame, the higher time frame, now let me ask you the same thing. So on the 15-minute time frame here, right? This is the second 1 minute zone. We had the first zone from this big swing point and we had the second zone here. Are you taking this high as a breaker structure on your 15 minute? Of course not. It's just one small candle and we took the high. On the 1 minute, what does it look like? It looks like a decent breaker structure. But we know with accordance to the higher time frame, we should not be using this. Okay? This isn't a real break or structure. This should just be provided as liquidity, if anything, for price to come into our real higher time frame zone and then start pushing higher. So let's check. We did sweep that here, sorry. Right, and then we're expecting a higher high now. Nice. So again now, when we look at the structure on the higher time frame, we know this zone was irrelevant, and we know that where are we trading now? We are trading between, this was our previous high, this was our protected low, and whatever high we put in. So this low is not a change of character because this is our protected low. This is the low that's put in this high. You have to remember that all these lows are just liquidity POIs. You don't take these as change of character. Don't take this as a change of character because you will get stopped out. You have to know your external from your internal structure. So externally, we're trading between here and whatever high we put in. How do we know this is the right zone to use on the lower time frame? Right, before I answer that, everyone should know this now. It's a higher time frame BOS. On the higher time frame, we had a high, we broke structure. So this is a valid area for me to use as a place to get in on my lower time frame. Now you can see we've already put a tap into the zone that pushed price higher. So I'm expecting price to sweep this, come to fill in this zone, and then start to push higher. Let's see if we create a new high. Perfect. You can see we swept that. We come into this zone here and we start to push higher. Now, what do we notice in this scenario here? This is our break structure. Boom, boom. This is our low. Again, if you started thinking downtrend here, if you're purely focused on the lower time frame, not knowing the higher time frame is bullish until we break this, you're going to start looking for sells, getting excited. Oh no, why did I get stopped out? I thought I was trading the trend. You're not, because remember, as long as this low holds, only looking for buys. We go back on the higher time frame. Was this a BOS? Well, this was a BOS, and this technically isn't a BOS because it's not a valid pullback. That's in the course on how to identify valid pullbacks, but we can still use this as a potential zone, this higher time frame zone, because it's a nice swing point, but this zone is still fresh, okay? This hasn't reached our mitigation rules. So we can now use both these zones to look for a potential long. What does that mean? Both these are valid, but my protected low still stays here because this zone still has too much space, to put it simply. We could still come sweep this and push higher. So I'm still only looking for buys as long as this low holds. This still counts as structure, but this is not my protected low. Let's play that out. Let's see if we come into this zone and bounce or come into this zone and bounce. That is the game plan. Now you're looking for either of these zones for price to come into and bounce higher. Okay, nice. So now we came into this zone and we bounce. So now this zone becomes irrelevant. Okay, it's too far out. So more structure is boom, boom, boom. And what? We have another one. Boom. Now let's look at the higher time frame. Make sure this is a new breaker structure. High, low, high, high. This is a higher time frame breaker structure as well. So if we look at what we've done on the lower time frame, right? We're not zoomed in. We're not getting caught up on every little move. By using the higher time frame to guide us on the lower time frame, these are the swing points we've come into, right? We had this high to this low. We draw a zone. Price comes, returns into it, creates a higher high. We have a new zone here. Price breaks, comes back into it, makes a higher high. We have a new zone here. Price breaks, returns into it, makes a higher high. We have a new zone here. What are we expecting now? Price break, come back into it, higher high. You're not getting caught in, oh, this is a change of character, this is a change of character. No, I think I've stressed that quite a lot now in this video, but I hope that does make sense. And now you could have caught what? You could have caught one win in this zone, 2 wins in this zone, 3 wins in here, 4 wins in here. 4 potential W's before 1 L, just by trading the trend. You're not looking for a reversal. When a reversal does happen, you'll take your 1 loss. But you've got 4 wins, 1 loss. And then guess what, in the downtrend? We're just looking for shorts now. Purely not looking at any bullish zones. And we're going to add in certain factors to know, okay, I should take a short from here, I should take a long from here. You want to see where potential areas we could reverse from, and that stops you from getting potential L from that change of character, but that's just a bit more advanced stuff. Now we'll go some downtrend examples. So again, let's focus on the lower time frame. Let's just start from this low. Let's do this structure here. So we can see we have a decent zone here. Now, is this a higher time frame BOS? This is a valid low. Failed to make a new high. We broke structure to the downside. This is a valid higher time frame BOS. So I don't mind using this zone as a potential short. Now let's see what we do. We come into this zone. I'm expecting price to respect this zone and make a lower low according to simple market structure. So this is my POI to look for shorts in. It's taking a bit of time, but let's see if we come and run the low, which we should do according to structure. Nice. So now, again, we're zoomed out. We're not so zoomed in. Boom, 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 boom. Simple. How do we see this now? Boom. We draw a zone from here. According to structure, price should now not come above here. It's our new protected high. We should respect this and we should start moving lower. Let's see if we do that. Okay, nice. We do that. Now, important question. Are we going to draw a new protected high new zone here? Well, according to our mitigation rules, we should not draw a new zone here. We should still focus on this zone. You can see as well, to keep it simple, look at the size of these swing points. This is a mini swing point inside of a bigger swing point. This is where we're going to fake a lot of people out. If we're going to use this as a break of structure here, we are not going to use this as a break of structure. Let's go on the higher time frame and let's see if it was a break structure. Is this a break structure on the higher time frame? No. So don't use it as a lower time frame zone. It's just there to fake you out. It's there to fake out those people who have their protected high up here. Right? We're going to use them as what? As our liquidity. Expect price to sweep them and then head lower. There's a sweep. Hopefully I'm right, otherwise I'm embarrassed myself. But I'm expecting this to be a fake sweep. People who don't know structure properly are going to mark this as their protected high. And we should stop them out and give us AMN traders the money. Let's see, I can play it out a bit on the higher time frame perhaps, like a 3 minute, just to speed it up. Nice. Look at that. We stopped them out to the T, and then we made that BOS, right? So we stopped ourselves getting faked out. Now, let's look at structure, all right? Low, high, low, high. We know that this wasn't a real BOS. This is a real BOS, however, because you can see on the higher time frame, this will be a real break of structure. So let me delete this. Let's go on the higher time frame again. Now on the higher time frame, you can see once we close below this, this is a valid break of structure. So we can use this as a lower time frame zone. It's a lot more safer now. It's a lot more confidence, and this is how we should read structure. So we'd expect price to come back into this area, respect it, and start moving lower. Let's see if we do that. We wick the high. We haven't broken the high yet, but I'll look out to see if we do break the high. We break the high now. What does that mean according to structure? Well, if structurally this was our protected high and we just closed above it, we've now gone from where? Bearish, okay, to bullish. So put in a low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Boom, what is this? Once we closed above, a higher high. So now all bearish zones become irrelevant. And we simply trade between this new zone. Right? This was our previous BOS. And what do we expect? We expect price to come into here and push higher. It's coming into this zone. We should now see price make a higher high. There we go. Because why? Not rocket science. We are just trading with the trend. We're trading with the structure. So if we look at how structure was, right? This looks, if I'm like this, I'm like high, low, oh, high, low. I'm confusing myself. If I use the higher time frame to guide me on the lower time frame, I can see low, high, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, higher high. I'm expecting higher lows, higher highs now. If we go to the 15 minute to show you this, you can see structure becomes a lot more clearer. Low, high, low, high, low, high, low, higher high. Start looking for long. So I hope this does help. I do make quite a bold claim because I genuinely believe I see market structure differently to how everyone else sees it. And I do believe I can read it better than 99% of people. I sound like an arrogant waste man there, but it's just my personal opinion. You don't have to agree with me, but that's the basis of my whole trading strategy. So if you want to learn my trading course and learn exactly how I read structure and can help you with any questions, feel free to join the premium Discord. The link is in the description below. I do also have a brand new one-on-one mentorship program we will have one-on-one lessons, and I will guide you every step of the way. So if that does sound intriguing to you as well, the link will be in the Discord. So join the free Discord. Again, the link will be in the description. Any questions, drop them in the comment section below. Apart from that, appreciate any likes, subscribes, appreciate your time as always, and I'll catch you in the next video.